Hey, Himani, good evening. We're good to start.
All right, good evening, everyone. Really glad to see so many of you joining us today. We'll give just another minute or two for everyone else to get settled in, and then we can start. All right, so if you're just joining in, you're in the right place. This is AI and ML Engineering Masterclass with Regenesys School of AI. While Harsha is just getting connected, let me take a few moments to tell you a little more about who we are, because I think it's important for you to understand as to why this session exists. Now, before I start, I would like to give you a brief introduction of Regenesis as a group. Regenesis Group is a leading global institution dedicated to awakening human potential through holistic development in intellectual, emotional, spiritual, physical dimensions. Established over 27 years ago, our ecosystem encompasses of specialized schools and service institutions, business, technology, finance, law, and corporate education, with a faculty of over more than 45 PhDs and 100 plus internal members across 15 countries. We have been known for an innovative, industry oriented learning journeys that prepare the individuals for the digital economy. And now, as I say, the AI economy. So, we operate across four continents with presence in countries including South Africa, UK, India, Nigeria, Croatia. We've educated over more than 3 lakh students from 180 countries and more, and collaborated with over 1,000 multinational companies. Our extensive alumni network holds leadership roles worldwide, offering an unparalleled opportunities for mentorship and professional growth. I will just take you through a slide where I would like you to have a look. 1 second. I'll just share my slide. Let me know when you can see my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? Faizan, is my screen?
Yes, Himani, your screen is visible.
All right. So as I was saying, that Regenesis is a conglomerate, and we have multiple schools in this, with education being one of the core element of Regenesis group. We have Digital Regenesis, which caters to the executive education. We have Regenesis Business School, which caters to the graduates, undergraduates, and the postgraduates. We have Regenesis School of AI, which we have recently launched, which focuses towards the interventions and helping organizations and individuals to scale up their capability and capacity and understanding what AI is and what more we can do around their work skills. We have corporate education, as we mentioned, and the other schools of Regenesis, technology, management, law, and finance. Regenesys India, we have four core offerings four core segments that we cater to. We have the AI solutioning part where we have the AI assessment, maturity assessments that we do for the corporates. We have the advisory services where we work towards the process automation and the roadmaps of maturity mapping for organizations. We have the AI skilling part where we work very closely with the corporates, understanding their growth, their vision, and how do they want to grow across and scale across using an AI, a complete AI workforce automation and transformation interventions. We also partner with the institutions where we offer the integrated courses, masterclasses, and so on. So if we see Regenesis is we are very positioned very strategically in terms of an ecosystem which is bounded by all the directions where we become a key bridge between the corporates and the institutions and helping bridge the gap. Any questions?
This point of
All
time, Himani, I have no questions. We can now welcome Harsha. Thank you, Himani.
All right. My pleasure to hand over to someone who has personally trained AI teams at IBM, Microsoft, Accenture, and over 400 enterprises globally. With more than 20 years of experience and 13 years very specifically in AI product development, I'm pleased to welcome Harsha. Over to you, Harsha.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Himani. Thanks, Faiza. And thanks, everyone, for joining. I hope you are able to hear me out clearly and also see me. Right? Yeah. Okay. Welcome once again, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So today, I'll take you through some of the very interesting facts about AI and something known as machine learning. Right. So let's look at the world of machine learning. I think you'll have some lag seen in the video here. Probably there's some signal issue. So don't worry. You just have to hear me out. If there's too much of a lag, then I'll switch off my video for some time so that you can hear me out. But I'll be online for you. Right. But I would encourage, I'll give my introduction, but I would encourage all of you basically here, 13 of you probably, and also, some of our panelists, right? Please ask questions because this is a very important milestone in your career, milestone in your future path. If you are a student, if you're already working, then this is a milestone for you, right? So you'll have to cross this milestone. In order to cross the milestone, basically, you should really understand the world of AI, world of machine learning, right? And then go walk that path, right? And then adopt AI, adopt machine learning, etc. I'll make it extremely easy for you in easy language, but please ask me a lot of questions. Right? Yeah. So here I am. My name is Harsha Rao. Basically, I come with about 23 plus years of having worked in many IT companies across the globe, predominantly in the US, and about 14 years, almost 14 years of long journey in AI. Having worked with multiple organizations, government organizations, and other private companies, large IT companies predominantly, and having developed hundreds of products and projects in AI and implemented across the globe for various companies, very large Fortune 500 companies. So that's what I am. Currently speaking to you from Pune, a beautiful city here. And probably I don't know where you all are, but yeah, all of you welcome once again. And let me take you through the journey of AI and machine learning. I'll share my screen and please confirm if it's visible.
Hi, Harsha, your screen is visible.
Thanks, Faisa. Okay, so where do we stand today? I'm looking at from your perspective, right? You're a student, you've just started your work, maybe joined a company, or you're already working. You might be in various forms of mode of working. Yeah, right? You might be a data scientist, you might be working on the data side, you might not be working on the data side, you might be working on AI side also, or you might not be working on the AI technologies. You can be anything, but this is the right time. This is the high time to start with AI and machine learning, specifically getting into the context of machine learning engineering. When I mean engineering, probably it will bring to you the picture of you studying in engineering. If you studied in engineering colleges, right? It's not that difficult. It's extremely easy. It's extremely friendly, right? It's not very difficult subject to get into, and it is not very difficult to even master it, right? So I'll make it extremely easy, in fact, so that you understand very well, right? So let me go through this. Now, what am I saying? Don't worry, in whatever education field you are doing, any kind of education or whatever kind of work that you're doing. But it is high time to get into AI and machine learning. That's what is the main theme of the session today. That's what is the main agenda for the session today, right? So I'll take you through the journey for next maybe 40-45 minutes. But in between, if you have any questions, please ask, unmute yourself, ask, or you can actually put your comments also in the chat. I'll keep looking at the comments and try and answer your question. But I would encourage you to, kind of unmute yourself and ask. So what's there in the agenda today, very quickly to cover for about 40-45 minutes, is where are we sitting in 2026? Are we in the boom or are we not? We'll try and answer that question. I'll take a look at that. And is there any qualification to get into artificial intelligence and machine learning? Can I really take up AI? Can I really take up ML? Should I get into it? What is the benefit? Will I get a job? Right? Or will I get benefited out of it? So, what all these questions I'll try and answer for you. And go a little step further and see what does an AI and ML engineers actually do. Right? So I'll give you a glimpse of things. I'll take you through the journey of AI and ML engineers, machine learning engineers, etc. And then what is the roadmap? Once you jump into the water, you will have to swim. There is no other way. You can't say that the water is cold, water is hot, or water is at normal temperature. Whatever it is, you'll have to learn swimming. That's how you will survive, right? So what is the roadmap? It's not as difficult as swimming, learning swimming. It's very easy, right? But yeah, what is the roadmap for all of us? That's what I'll be taking you through. How Regenesys as a global corporation, and I am AI strategist and consultant. I do consult for various companies, etc. Being part of Regenesys, we do develop a lot of products and projects for other companies as well. So do we all bring that advantage to you? Yes, we will bring those advantage to you. Whatever we learned, whatever we built, whatever we implemented across different companies, we will bring those experiences to you. So what does that mean? That means that you will be learning with experts who have already implemented AI, implemented machine learning in very large organizations, right? So that advantage we will bring to you. And of course, keep asking questions. I'll keep answering. At the end also, I'll give you some minutes so that you can come out with good questions and then get clarifications for those questions. Okay. So yeah, having said that, let me look at where are we in terms of AI and ML in 2026. Now, in 2026, if you look at the entire global region, it is worth $305 billion. I'm not talking about generative AI. I'm not talking about agentic AI, right? I'm not talking about all other technologies that are there out there. I'm only talking about machine learning. That market is so huge, 305 billion plus market, right? So that gives you a complete picture of why we should get into machine learning. 96 million plus new AI jobs expected, not even 2030. I put it as 2030 very conservatively, but take it from me, 2027, there will be more than 100 million plus jobs, which means 1 crore plus jobs, because everything is getting converted to machine learning. Everything is getting converted to generative AI, right? How do you get into generative AI? You'll have to go step by step. You'll have to learn machine learning first, right? And then compared to traditional jobs, there's a 3.5x to 5x salary premium for AI roles, for machine learning roles, and so on. 72% of the companies is already using it or planning to use it in 2026 alone, right? So 72%. Come 2027, maybe it will go to 85%. 2028, all of the 100% of the companies will be using machine learning. If you are in India, right, are all of us using QR codes for making payment? Yes. Is every small, even a small petty shop is using QR code for taking payment, accepting payments? Yes. Similarly, AI will become that norm. Every small shop will be using AI, right? So hence there is already a boom. In fact, it's not in the future. There is a huge boom and there is a huge demand for machine learning professionals, right? So having established the overall ground on which you're going to operate, let me tell you that, could you be in AI? AI is like a larger subject, right? Take the example of science. Now, when I speak of science, basically it consists of what? It consists of physics. Mathematics also is part of science if you look at that, chemistry, biology, and several other science streams, right? It could be n number of science streams, 8 streams, 9 streams, 10 streams, etc., etc. In physics itself, you have like sub physics that is going on. Physics 1, physics 2, physics 3. You'll have several, this one. In chemistry, again, it is subdivided, right? So if you think AI as a larger science-like subject, in AI, ML is like physics. You take science, that's like AI. Machine learning is like physics or chemistry or biology, right? It's a larger subject within AI as a complete overview of the subject that you have, right? It's like science. Now, the question could be coming like, is it only for machine learning? Many of us are telling, or many of us are writing, many of us are putting out videos and audio over different social media platforms saying that this is good for data scientists, this is good for data analysts, or this is good for so and so people, etc. Is it true? No, it's not true. It's not only meant for data scientists. It does not mean that you will have to be doing some IT related engineering or IT related education, or you should be going to IT related classes, computer science related classes, etc. No, even that is not the case. AI machine learning is for everybody. Just like payment through QR code is for everybody, AI and ML is for everybody, right? Whether you are a fresh graduate, if you are from CS, that's okay. IT, that's okay. Maths, that's okay. Engineering, that's okay. I will go ahead and say, if you are in any kind of education, any stream within the education, you can actually come into AI ML and pick up AI ML. It's like a universal subject, right? It's very easy. It's good that you could start with a head start if you are a software engineer. You can really understand from day one, hour one, if you are a data analyst or a data scientist. If you are on the technical side of career or business with, let's say, 2+ years of experience in any of the technical field, it definitely gives you a boost as a good start. But believe me, even if you are like not coming from this background, you can quickly pick up AI and ML. What is the reason? AI actually represents us. AI represents intelligence of human being. We can see, we can hear, we can talk, we can feel, right? We can smell, etc., etc. So all of those things we are trying to replicate in the machine. Wouldn't you be interested if you want to replicate another human being, but in the form of a machine? So it's that interesting. So anybody can get into it. Basically, from the finance background, manufacturing background, or arts background, or anything else, anybody can get into AI ML. That's what is my message at the end of the day. Any questions here? Anybody want to ask any question? Put a question on in the chat, in the Zoom chat. You can put a question. I'll go ahead and check right now. Yeah, you're all saying good evening. That's good. Visible. Yes. Please put your questions. Put any question for that matter. No question is a bad question. Every question is a good question, and I'll be very, very happy to answer them. Right. So please go ahead and put your question or unmute yourself and then ask if that is allowed. Right here. If I assume that is allowed, right, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask any question for that matter. Okay. So I'll separate out what is there in our minds. Sometimes we believe in something, right? But that might not be the reality. That might not be the truth. So what are the myths versus the reality that we have? If I have to get into learning AI, learning machine learning, and then, putting that into practice after learning, getting a job or doing some business out of it, right? Or becoming an expert, or building some products for the market, etc. Whatever my wish is, what is that I have some misconception, or you might have those misconception, and what is the reality, right? You would have heard this. You need a PhD in statistics, because machine learning always looks at some of the principles, some of the formulas, some of the equations, and it all comes from statistics. No, that is not true, right? You must be a data scientist to get into AI and ML. Even that is a myth. AI ML is only for researchers who are doing research like PhDs, right? No, that is not the case. You need 10 years of coding experience or 5 years of coding experience or a plenty of coding experience. You must be a coder in order to get into AI and ML. No, again, that is not the case. I'm saying you could be coming with a blank slate. Still, you can get into AI and ML, and you should get into AI and ML, right? There is no other way out right now. You need oxygen. Otherwise, you can't breathe, right? So you need AI, you need ML. Otherwise, because the future is AI ML, you have to get into that future, right? I'll not say there is no future. There is definitely good future, but you can make it even more better by getting into AI ML, right? So what's the reality? Engineering leading into research in most jobs. Yes, if you are in engineering, probably you can get into AI ML and then research, or AI ML into coding, or AI ML into doing some kind of data analysis and so on. It's okay, but that's not complete reality, right? It actually gives you a head start. Python plus math fundamentals are enough to start. Now, you can actually dive into AI ML and then also learn Python. You know, one bitter truth or sweet truth today, you don't even have to learn Python. There is AI to teach you Python. There is AI to write Python code for you, right? There's tools like Claude, there's tools like ChatGPT, the latest versions, ChatGPT Cowork, Claude Cowork, or Gemini 3.1 Pro, etc., which writes code for you, which writes Python for you. So you don't even have to be Python coder, right? You just have to say that I need this kind of a code, or I need code written in Python. It will give you the code. That's it. So it's as simple as that. Companies want builders, not theorists. Means what? If you're only talking about AI, if you are good at writing something about AI or machine learning, if you are able to create some videos, etc., reels, shorts, etc., on AI, that's not enough. You have to get into the depth of it. Like if you want to swim in water, you need to go deep in water to and then learn swimming, right? If you have to learn to ride bicycle, if you have to learn to ride bikes or car or anything, right? First, you will have to start from somewhere. You will have to become expert at doing things over a period of time after repeatedly practicing, right? So that's what is called as builders. Builders are ones who are going to practice again and again and then become expert at it, right? The best AI ML engineers come from diverse backgrounds. I just want to highlight this. You can be from any background. I have seen people who are still in their schools, fifth standard, sixth standard, third standard, third grade, fourth grade, right? Getting into AI ML, right? So you can come from any background for that matter. Doesn't matter. But the only thing that is required for AI ML is the passion. It's a love for AI, right? Love for ML. If you fall in love with something, that is yours, right? So you can actually master it, right? So what is the difference between two streams that probably you can get into? If you are an AI ML engineer, you can of course go towards data and become a data scientist or data analyst. But what is the difference, right? So there are dimensional differentiation between AI ML engineer and one who is purely on the data side. What does an AI ML engineer do? He builds and deploys models into production. Meaning what? Meaning you will create something which will look at the data and can identify what is there in the data. Some hidden knowledge, some knowledge which is available, some knowledge which it can predict, with some knowledge it can actually classify. For example, let's say I give you a data about past 1 month's weather pattern in Mumbai, in Pune, in Bangalore, any of the cities in India, or any of the city that you're living currently, right? And ask you to predict what is the weather in May, what is the weather in June. How do you do that? Basically, you can do that very easily through AI and ML, right? So taking the data and predicting the future, taking the data, see what is inside the data that is not seen through human eye, right? That's called insight, data insight. So getting the data insight and getting to know what the data itself and for what purposes it can be put to use, highly put to use, right? So all of these you will learn around the data. So you don't have to be a data scientist. You can be ML, but you can learn the data nuances as well. But if you're a data scientist, of course you'll be. This is like somebody who's already a swimmer in data, right? He or she can already swim in the water. Now you can jump into a well or you can jump into a river or a lake or anything, you can swim, right? So that's like a data scientist. But if you are on the AI ML side, you will learn how to deal with the data and so on. So you can, as I said, you can come from any background as such, right? So let's say you will ask me a question. Okay, I'll actually do AI ML. What is next? What do I do next? Right? What does AI ML engineers actually do in the outside world? Let's say in my company, right? Or in some other company, what do? They create, they create wonderful things. They create some magical stuff, basically, right? All of these are technical terms like ML pipelines, production APIs, applications, blah, 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 computer vision, NLP systems. When you get into this, all of these you will get to know also, get to learn, get to experiment, get to build something. But let me give you some simple examples. What do you do? Pipelines. Meaning what? You want to send data from one part of the system to another part of the system through a pipeline. It's like water flowing or oil flowing through the pipeline, end to end, right? Now, I have some data in my Excel sheet. I have some data in my Word file, or I have some data in the PDF file. How do I take that and put it into a larger database, into Oracle database, SQL database, or any other database that you're working? Or how do I take this data and send it to my WhatsApp, right? I have some friends' data with me. Now I have to create some kind of an invitation to those friends, right? So how do I take this data and send it to my WhatsApp? I will create a pipeline. To do that, I'll have to construct something called APIs, application programming interface. That's what you will learn in machine learning, right? And then you will create applications. You would have heard generative AI, right? So you will create applications using models, using generative AI technology, which is like your ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, and many, many others, right? So you'll learn to create applications. You will learn to implement that in larger system within your companies or within your institution. And you can also build systems that can see, that can visualize, that can capture images and video and work with it. And of course, nothing is complete unless it can talk, right? It can, if it can see, it can hear, it has to talk also in natural language. So that is your NLP systems, right? So you'll also learn NLP systems as part of your AI ML engineering. Okay, quickly I'll take a pause and check if there are any questions. Okay, no questions. You can also ask me if you want, right? If you don't understand anything, please ask me. Now, having understood that in AI ML, what are the things that you're going to do? Very simple. In AI ML, you're going to create a system which can act like a ear, hear, right? Which can see like we see through the eye, which can talk like I'm talking in English. You can make system talk. And I'm looking at my screen and looking at the data and interpreting it, right? So I read this, your transition roadmap for any technical background to AI ML engineer in 6 months. All these are words and sentences. And I see numbers. Am I not interpreting this to you? Am I just reading it and keeping quiet? No, I'm actually interpreting. I'm explaining things to you. That is generative AI, right? Generative AI is getting deep into the data and then explaining things out. Program of Regenesys that we have. It's a very beautiful program. It's a wonderful program, and it's an easy program to go with, right? You will become a master at the end of the period of your course here. First we will start with foundations. Foundations is always very, very important, like Python, etc., etc. Right? Then we will get into classical ML. Classical means what? Old ML. There is old ML and there is also new ML. Right? So we'll start with ABCs of ML, ABCD. We will learn the nuances, something known as supervised, unsupervised learning, and so on. Right? And then we will get into the advanced part of it, deep learning. And then we'll get into natural language, where we will work through natural language like English, etc. And once we know all of these things, we can build applications and then we can implement it through a technology called machine learning operations, right? We will also give you a very good end-to-end project to be built, right? So you will have a capstone project to work with, right? I see 2 comments coming in. Yeah, so asking for questions. Post your questions, please, and I can answer them. Even if you get, very simple question to ask also, please go ahead. Okay. So now coming to AI, within AI, machine learning. In machine learning, what are you doing? You're actually teaching machine to do a lot many things like human beings. Let's say I'm a parent, I'm a father, I'm a mother. When I have a baby, what will I do? If there is a baby, I will teach the baby to first crawl and then get up, walk, and then speak, right? And then go like that, step by step, grow, 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 right? And teach the baby to do lot many things. First to crawl, then to walk, then to talk, then to converse, and then we will send the baby to school to learn, right? So that's what we will do with the machine also. We will ask it to learn, 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 and then improve upon itself. That's what we're going to do with this. Right? So in Regenesys, what we are going to do is it's a 24 weeks, very intensive learning program. When I mean intensive, you will be surrounded with experts. You will be surrounded with PhDs. You will be surrounded with industry experts like me, who will take you through the journey with my own experiences being brought to the table, right? There are 6 hands-on modules. Every module is hands-on, which means you will be working through the machine learning problems, through the machine learning solutions, etc. You'll be building and seeing things live, right? We have actually implemented this across 180 plus countries within our network, right? So we are running these programs across, and you will actually work on an industry top grade capstone project, which will be live industry project, right? Not a textbook kind of a project, not a dummy project, but an industry project. So you see many modules, 6 modules here: foundations of AI ML, classical machine learning, which means machine learning started many years back, right? So how did it start? When did it start? What are the ABCs of machine learning, etc.? You'll start with classical, then go into deep learning. Deep learning is a sub part of your machine learning. So you'll get into that. NLP is another part of machine learning. ML ops is another part of machine learning. So these are different branches within machine learning, right? And then specialization, finally a capstone project. So this is what you will be undergoing, right? Why are we looking at, why should I do, if I have a question from Regenesys, why shouldn't I be doing with any others in the market? Basically, our AI ML program is career transition focused, which means if you are a student and you want to gain mastery in AI ML, this is the course to be taken up. This is the program to be taken up. If you are a student in the final years and you want to get into a job, right? AI ML, I showed you there is so much of demand for AI ML, right? If you want to get into the job, get through the interviews and tests and so on, get into the job, this is the program for you, right? And if you are on the engineering side, it's far better to go for AI ML rather than going into any other aspects of engineering, because every other field is adopting AI. every other field is adopting machine learning. So it's better to go with AI ML and then maybe specialize in other fields as well. You will get to know cutting edge generative AI. Meaning, we will not just restrict in this program to just the AI and machine learning, we'll also introduce you to generative AI, something known as RAG systems, AI agents, LLM fine tuning, etc. Right? What is the cutting edge? What is the most happening in 2026? You will get to be introduced to that as well. Work readiness built in. So we will not only be teaching you, we will not only be taking you through how to build, how to build models using machine learning, etc. We'll also be making you ready for the job in terms of what can you expect in a certain role, in a certain responsibility, and when you get into as a machine learning engineer or AI engineer, how will be the interviews, etc. So we'll be guiding you through, all right? And these are programs that are run in the very flexible manner. Evening classes from 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's very, very flexibly oriented so that you don't miss your classes if you're a student. You don't miss your work if you're working already. You don't miss your business if you are into some kind of a business, right? In your spare time, you can do this. Learn without missing any of your daytime agenda, right? What are the different career options that you have? You can become AI ML engineer, or you can become ML ops engineer, or go towards data, which is data scientist. You can become natural language processing specialist or generative AI specialist, deep learning engineer, AI product developer. I have listed only 6, but there are 20 more, right? So imagine that there are 26 kind of opportunities that you have in the market today. You can go anything, you can become anything using just learning AI ML, right? So our program comes with guidance as to how you can get into a good job, you can build your good portfolio online and so on, and LinkedIn optimization. All right. So that's what we will help you to do through this program. While you're going through this program, we'll also do an enhancement of your portfolio through helping you build your LinkedIn profile very well while you're doing this course, profile building, etc., etc. We'll take care of that, right? And we are in Regenesys, we have many experts who are in the field working on AI ML continuously, right? Having built large products, etc. And I myself will come with about 23 years of experience, 13 plus years in AI and R&D, almost completing 14 now, right? I'm from BITS Pilani, MTech from BITS Pilani. I've worked with more than 400 companies for training them, for building products, for building projects, implementing projects, etc., across the globe, right? And I also come with a good research experience. Have not only build products, but also before that, you need to research a lot to build those products, right? So technology is changing, AI is changing, machine learning is changing. You will have to go adopt those, learn new things, and build new things. That's what I do as a researcher, right? And my passion is training. My passion is teaching. My passion is to make you passionate about AI and ML, right? So that's what my passion is. So I'll bring that passion into your program and the courses and so on. And of course, you have a larger strength of Regenesys School of AI. So we have this special company, special unit called School of AI, in which we are covering almost 180 countries, offices in 11 key locations worldwide: South Africa, India, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and shortly in UK, US, and expanding to Europe as well. Enterprise AI consulting. So we are all builders, we are all consultants for large companies, in Regenesys, right? So live online programs are being conducted as we speak. We bring in real industry projects for you to do, right? So that we just not focus on giving you technical skills, but also on the sides, we will teach you soft skills, emotional quotient, resume building, and enhancing your profile on LinkedIn and so on. It's like 360-degree assistance that we give you, right? So what should be your next step? Having heard me, right? Make up your mind, go jump into the water, right? You can't stand on the side and say, should I really jump in or not? Ones who jumps will learn to swim and be an expert swimmer, right? So you got to just go immerse yourself into it. So connect with us, connect with the concerned person in Regenesys, enroll yourself, and I can tell and watch about myself, right? I was into different technologies earlier. One day I thought I will do AI, I will do ML. And that thought, I jumped in, like jumping into the water. I jumped in without even looking. I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow, right? That one decision, that 13 years back, made me work with large companies in the US, in Europe, in Middle East, in Southeast Asia, in India, and everywhere else. And it took me to 18 countries, right? The demand is not just now, the demand was earlier also. Now the demand has exploded, right? So it took me to 18 different countries, traveled across the globe, and here I am talking to you, right? And I want you to experience that. I want you to experience the whole world. I want you to learn, not only learn, but take your experiences across. Work with large companies, work with maybe even startups, work with product companies, work with consulting companies, whatever you want to do, it will take you places. That's my experience, which I wanted to share with you, right? So this is the program to go for. This is the program to go to, because you can take that step of becoming AI ML engineer, and there's a huge demand and supply gap in the market. If I need 100 people on AI ML, currently in 2026, I'm only getting 20 of them, right? There is a huge gap in supply and demand. So you're readily absorbable into the job stream, or you can readily start any business that you want in the AI ML sector area, right? So yeah, with that, I would conclude my session today. Hope it was useful. Hope it was informative. Hope it actually creates some kind of energy, enthusiasm in you to take up AI ML as a program. Go through it, become an expert, and then create things in this world, right? So with that, I'll take a pause. Maybe I have 5 minutes. You can ask any question, put the question on chat. I can answer those questions to you.
Hi, Harsha. We have one question from Vinod Kumar. This application is helpful for mechanical engineer.
Absolutely, yes. Mechanical engineering deals with what? Tomorrow, when you do this mechanical engineering, tomorrow you might be thinking of getting into engineering companies, right? You might be getting into material science. You might be getting into engineering research, right? Material research, or even mechanical research, and so on. There are n number of manufacturing companies in the world. You might be getting into manufacturing, or you might even think of going into the area of computer science, information technology, and now what we call as the AI technologies, right? So you might want to get into that as well. So it's absolutely useful for mechanical engineers. As I was saying, for everybody it is useful, right? In the manufacturing companies, I just came from a manufacturing company now. right? Across, they are introducing AI and machine learning and so on. All of them. There are like 12,000 employees there. Everybody have to learn machine learning in that company. No more doing by hand, no more doing by traditional means, no more using older technologies. Everybody have to use AI and ML to do their job. Whether it is mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science, take any stream for that matter, AI and ML is very, very useful. Any other questions? Thank you, Aniket. Yeah, still, if you have any questions, reach out to the concerned person, concerned people in Regenesys. They'll be able to answer you. Send out an email, right? Or get in touch. You would have the contact numbers, get in touch, get more details. I'll also be there to help you out with all the information that you want, but I want you to join AI ML program. As I said, one decision 13 years back took me to 18 different countries, working with large global conglomerate of companies, right? One decision. So take that decision today. And I'm sure 1,000%, 1,000,000% sure it will change your life. All right. If there are no questions, I can conclude this, wrap up this session.
Thank you, Harsha. Harsha, we have a few questions in the Q&A chat.
In the Q&A chat. Okay, so let me open that.
Harsha, can you hear me?
Let me open the Q&A.
Harsha.
Yeah. So Nidhi is asking what kind of math I have to learn. It will be basic or advanced mathematics needed. No. Don't worry. Don't worry about mathematics at all, right? There will be little mathematical concepts, but we will definitely not be focusing entirely on mathematics. We will be focusing on multiple aspects of machine learning, right? Mathematics is one part, data is another part. Having to build using mathematics and data, which is known as the learning algorithm. So we will be teaching you learning algorithm, we'll be teaching you Python, how to create through Python, etc., etc. Basic mathematics is enough. What do I mean by basic mathematics? Your 6th grade, 5th grade, 7th grade mathematics, that's enough, right? Even if you don't remember those mathematics, that's fine. We will take you through that journey and explain in a very simple manner. Okay, so those were the two questions in Q&A. Yes, Faiza, can we wrap up?
I think we're good to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Harsha. We've shared our website link for the AIML engineering program. If you all want to reach out to the Regenesys School of AI team, kindly visit our website and you'll be able to reach out to our AI consultants that will help you understand the program and the payment details in a better way. And we can close for this evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day ahead. Bye-bye.